Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Kai here from Telco. Today we are going to review a massive monitor from ASUS called the XG43UQ. And here is the review. Alright, this entire review was done by Referral, and I'm just here to, once again, present it. So we've received the ASUS XG43UQ monitor, and right off the bat, I can say that this is just a beast. Just from the size of the packaging alone, it was longer than half the length of my bed. But we were really excited to play around with it, and we have never experienced a 43-inch monitor. Well, you know why? Because my current monitor, the Philips one, is just 31.5 inches, and playing around with a 4K monitor at this size is just simply irresistible. And the monitor, it has impressive specs. Besides being 43 inches, it boasts 16:9 aspect ratio, Ultra HD at, oh my god, 144 Hz screen. We are living in an age where 4K monitors are getting high refresh rate. Score! And the high refresh rate monitor, 144 Hz screen, is capable of 1 millisecond MPRT with an LED backlight along with HDMI 2.1. Now I'm going to quickly go over the specs because there's just a bunch of things to say out. AMD FreeSync Premium Pro and Display HDR 1000 certification, which has 90% DCI-P3 color gamut. Awesome. And we should also mention that part of the marketing for this massive monitor is that it claims to be the world's first 43-inch gaming monitor designed specifically to work with the current game consoles, which are of course available on the market with HDMI 2.1. Now, I wasn't able to test this out because, well, we simply don't have any of the current gen console, none of the PS5, none of the Xbox Series X, because other than the fact that we cannot afford it, they are just simply not available for us to purchase. So bonus point is that we don't have to buy it. Now, one of the key features that ASUS has been very proud of is, of course, its extreme low motion blur, or ELMB for short. Now, this ELMB sync, it is known for eliminating ghosting or any graphic tearing that might appear on your screen. And for those who are wondering, it is a VA panel with a matte anti-glare coating to reduce reflections and glare. It is also one of the reasons why the DCI-P3 coverage is not more than 90%. Now, a bonus, well, at least for me, is that this monitor, it has 10-watt speakers, two 10-watt speakers, which was really refreshing because I don't have to put on my headphones or switch over to my Bluetooth speakers while gaming, so I can just rely on the speakers on the monitors. One of the features which was cool that I feel is the picture-in-picture mode, which gives the option to view multiple sources simultaneously. Now, speaking of sources, you've got several inputs spread over two sections. On the right-hand edge of the monitor, there's an audio line in to make use of the inbuilt speakers, a earphone jack, a USB-B port, two HDMI 2.0 ports, and two USB 3.0 ports. Over on the back of the monitor are the main HDMI 2.1 ports, a Display 1.4 port, and a USB-B mini port for the Aura Sync attachment. If you're wondering what those are just ASUS way of including RGB into the back panel. So it does project this small little light underneath the monitor, just to make you feel a bit better while gaming, I suppose. It is not bright enough to make a backlight or an ambient light, so I think it's a bit gimmicky, but if that tickles your fancy, then hey, it's there, and it might do wonders for you, who knows. Okay, price-wise, the monitor is selling on the official ASUS online store for USD 1399. Now, going back to the size of the monitor, I've also mentioned that this monitor is huge, and it weighs 15.3 kilograms, and it comes with a huge power brick too. Yep, I mean, why not? It's a massive piece of item. Let's make the brick massive too. I gotta say that I do like the color and the design as well, because on the front, It's black, but on the back it's white with ASUS styling, which gives a modern but still technical look. So it's matchy-matchy with my white desktop setup, which was part of the appeal too, so I totally love how it blends everything together. The surrounding bezel isn't razor thin, but it isn't overly thick either. Now the monitor itself, it only tilts forwards and backwards on its stand and it doesn't swivel sideways, so just keep a note on that. Now the other thing to note is that there aren't any VESA holes on the back either, so no wall mounting here. There is a tiny remote that comes with it, which you can use to access the OSD controls, and I found it quite useful because more than often I was using the remote instead of going to the back, reaching at the back and toggling with all the joysticks that's at the back, which can be cumbersome if you can agree. So a remote is always a welcome change. What I also like about the monitor is that setting up was pretty much straightforward, and although experiencing gaming at 4K glory for the first time was daunting as everything was a bit too tiny, so I had to zoom the level to at least 150% to be able to read any text, because if not I would just be squinting my eyes and trying to make out what those words are. Now onto the display. It is bright, like eye-burning terrorist interrogation bright. Setting it to 1000 nits was a bit much for me, as I don't usually turn up the brightness to the max on my setup. So dialing it down to about 400 nits was much better for me. And having said that, the colors and the contrast of the screen is great and I don't have any complaints about it. The color is nice. The image quality, super nice. Now for everyday tasks like web surfing, word processing, it really works well for me. And movies, I love watching movies on the screen and I didn't notice any backlight bleeding on the dark scenes, and coupled with the speakers, a darkened room, it was super enjoyable. Something else that I noticed after setting up the monitor was that it emitted a fair amount of heat. My desk isn't particularly deep, and with the display stand, the monitor was placed much closer to me and I could immediately feel the heat from the screen during usage. So just a note to everyone, you would want to place this monitor slightly further away from you during your use, which would make sense because considering the size of the screen, you cannot be like inches away from your eyes or your face. So you want it a bit further away so you can actually appreciate the beauty that it is. The OSD gives several options to tweak the monitor setting, but some will be enabled or disabled depending on whether you turn on HDR or not. Now, since it is touted as a gaming monitor, ASUS provided several options such as overclocking, overdrive, Game Plus, game visuals, and shadow boost. Personally, I felt that these were more gimmicky than practical, as I didn't really have much use for them. The different presets mode didn't really do much for me either. In the end, I just left it at the standard settings. Now, besides the usual image and color options, what piqued my interest more was the picture-in-picture feature. I hooked up my work laptop via HDMI and I was able to view that was on instantly. Although I had to multitask between typing on two keyboards, it did open up some possibilities for my multitasking. It is especially useful if I am finding myself in the middle of a boring meeting and gaming session with my buddies. Now, speaking about gaming, playing Diablo 3 on a 4K resolution was, oh my god, it was really fun. Yes, there was so much more that I could see on the screen, but I found myself moving my head around more due to the screen size than I usually do, which felt tiring after a while. This is of course being the fact that the monitor is really right in front of my face. It definitely would be better if it was further away. Okay, something that I would attribute to my graphic card, there was some screen tearing during heavy mob scenes and it significantly dipped in my FPS at 4K. I was a bit disappointed that I could not enjoy fully the 4K experience due to my graphic card bottleneck, and I feel that it would have been much better on a 3 series RTX card. So in short, if you do have the latest RTX cards, the 30 series, I'm very sure that the entire gaming experience would be better. So having said that, I thoroughly enjoyed binging on Netflix, Disney Plus, even 8K YouTube videos, which was seriously breathtaking because it really gave me this feeling of being in a television section at any departmental store with all the demo videos playing. You know what I'm talking about. And coupled with the speakers, which could get pretty loud watching movies or series on the monitor, it was really very pleasant experience. So overall, if you're looking for a replacement to your living room television to watch movies while having the option to hook up several games on your console along or your PC, I'd say that the ASUS XG43UQ is a worthy purchase. Having said that, if you're purchasing this monitor solely for 4K HDR screen, I think you might be able to get a better deal and a better output sticking to a 4K OLED screen TV. Alright guys, that's it. That has been the review for the ASUS XG43UO. Comment down below if you're purchasing this monitor or you have any different thoughts about it. I'll definitely see you in the next video. Take care now and bye.